Most players who struggle with bebop heads are not struggling because the notes are too fast. They are struggling because they are practicing in the wrong direction. They start from bar 1 every time and they run it until it breaks. Then they go back to bar 1. That is not practice. That is just meeting the same problem over and over and hoping it gets tired first. Today, I want to show you a different way to practice, a practical way. I will give you a real practice method. And the reason I know this works, it did not come from a jazz context at all. It came from my living room. My wife has a doctorate in classical piano, and for years I have been sitting next to her while she prepares for recitals, just listening, half paying attention. But one day I heard something strange coming from the other room. The practicing sounded off, out of order. Something was clearly different about what she was doing. I walked in and asked her what was going on. She told me, and I took it to my students. It completely changed how fast they got through hard materials. That is what today is about. What I heard, why it works, and exactly how to apply it to bebop heads you are stuck on right now. Not even a bebop head, the fast jazz lines or jazz riff or your favorite player's melody. Hey, my name is Junan Choi. If you already know me, thank you. If you don't, that is completely fine. We are just getting started. Little bit about my background. I grew up in South Korea. Jazz was not around me. Everything I know about this music I learned at Berklee College of Music from my mentor, Richie Hart. I came to jazz as a total outside, and that forced me to understand why everything worked. Not just that it worked. That outsider's clarity is what I teach on this channel. So, bebop heads, for example, Donna, anthropology, ornithology, the ones that feel like a wall. Here is what is actually happening when a bebop head feels impossible. Every note feels equal. The fast run, the chromatic line, the wide leaves, it all looks like one continuous wall of difficulty. So you try to learn everything at once from the beginning at full speed. And it never becomes music. It stays a sequence of problems. The routine I am about to show you has three pillars. 1. Ear to hand connection. 2. Sectional practice with reverse chaining. 3. In tempo principle. And one musical layer on top, the framework target. So the head stops feeling random and starts feeling logical. So let's go. Pillar 1, ear to hand connections. Before you touch the guitar, sing the phrase. If you cannot sing it, you do not own it. Your fingers might land in the right place, but they will not hold it under pressure. Singing first forces the ear to lead and the hands to follow. That is the most important thing for the musicians, for the guitarists. But I think most modern, like young generation, from even my generation when I was a student, they didn't get it. They wanted to be just fast on the finger, and they got the chop, and then they think, I got the chop, but what I'm going to play, because the ear and what they can play on the finger does not connect. So singing what you want to play, that makes this order right. Your hands need to be dictated by your ear. Your hands should not go faster than your ear. So that is the correct order. Most players do it backwards, hands first, ear trying to catch up. That is why the phrase never feels secure. So, like anything, like Donna, for example, not even the pitch you need to perfectly place it, but you need to even the at least the rhythm. Where is the phrase is forming? Where is that is reserved to? And where is those you can divide it in the lines? That is coming from your singing, because when you sing it, your breath is coming along with it. So it will generally tells you that where you need to stop or where you need to change the direction on the fingerboard, like that. Every nuance, every articulation, that is coming from the singing. So if you need help with the pitch or rhythm, use a slow down app, but do not use it to learn the notes first. Later you can use it for the notes. Use it to learn the sound. So when you play it, your hand is matching something your ear already knows. Once you own the phrase in your ear, everything that follows becomes faster, because you are not figuring out the notes while you play. You are just reproducing what you already hear. And it is basically, once you know how the rhythmically going in the phrase in your ear, you already has it. Then knowing the notes one by one, you already know how to play them. For example, the Donna Lee, the first phrase, it sounds like, right? Once you know that the rhythmic feel, how it drives it, then you know the notes. You are learning it one by one. Then you try to catch it up. Then you will feel something is not right. If you just play, the articulation is not there. It more sounds like, oh, I can slide all of these half steps, and also pulling and hammering those half step turns. Oh, see? It is not da 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 da. This is not that rhythm. This is not that feeling. That nuance, how those notes should play, can only be learned by ear, by listening the recording. And the slow downer will help you to hear, listen carefully, like the correctly. Okay? And then pillar 2, sectional practice and reverse chaining. First rule, stop starting from bar 1. The beginning of the tune is usually the easiest part, or because you practice a lot, so it is easier to get it under your finger. You are comfortable there, but the hard bar, the one that always collapses, is somewhere in the middle. And every time you start from bar 1, you arrive at that hard bar already tired and already moving fast, already committed to tempo you cannot hold it. So today, declare, I start here. Pick the hardest bar. That is your start point. So if we cannot choose which one, maybe you have a hard part, but let's stick on to the first part of the Donna, okay? So, and now, here is what my wife was doing in the practice room. Reverse chaining. Take the 5 notes or the phrase that you can break down point at the last phrase, not the beginning of the hard part. Once you miss that hard part, the chunk, find the end point of that phrase. So for example, the Donna, the first part, if I play like there, we ends there, right? So this is our last part. So play that first, right? This can be the separate part, right? Even though it is all connected. So practice the last part first. And then play the phrase before that to connect it. Right? And then the phrase before that. Here is why this works. We all know exactly where we are going to fail. We know which bar it is, and when we practice for bar 1, by the time we all arrive at that bar, our body and our mind are already tense, already bracing for the mistake. We are not practicing through the hard part. We are preparing to fail at it every single time. That is the problem for practicing from bar 1 to get through that hard part. We have to break down the hard part and make it like we have to reorganize everything. We need to get in our ear, listening backward, and get it to know which phrase I can hear it divided in piece by piece, and then put it together from the end phrase. Reverse chaining flips that completely. Instead of running towards the hard part, you go there first and you see how it ends at the end, and you know what comes after. And when you build backward from that point, your ear already knows where the phrase is going and where the connecting parts are. So when you get there in real time, there is nothing to brace for. The path out is already in your hands. You do not freeze, you just continue. That is the whole idea, not starting from the problem, starting from the resolution. If you can begin clean from the end, the beginning takes care of it itself. Pillar 3. Then in-tempo principle. Most players speed up on easy bars and slow down on hard ones. They do not even notice it, but what they are actually doing is rehearsing the problem with better packaging. Choose a tempo where the hardest bar is stable, not comfortable, stable. And hold that exact tempo for the entire section. What I mean by that is choose the hard part, slow down your comfortable tempo, and your easy part in the other song, bring it down so that everything is in same steady time, so that you can play as a whole in tempo. And then once you get that, then everything go faster together, go together. Does that make sense? And then move the metronome to beats 2 and 4. That shift is where internal time starts to develop. You can swing it. That is where bebop actually lives, not on the click between it. Inside every bebop head, there is a framework, target notes that define the harmony, notes that land. And the mindset shift is this: beat 1 is not where the phrase starts. Beat 1 is where it lands. Play only those landing points first. One target per bar. No fear, no decoration. So, this is why Charlie Parker came up with this, because before his time, most of the tunes, all the things you are, like all those swing tunes, the tunes target, the melody target the third. That's how he came up with. For example, Donna, the chord change is A flat major 7, F7, B flat 7. And in the key of A flat major 7, the A natural for the second chord, the F7, is not in the key of A flat. And also the third measure, the D natural, is not in key of A flat major scale. So look at the bebop line. His Donna melody this A natural is third over the second chord. And then this D is also the third over the third chord, D flat 7, D natural. Once your targets are in your ear, everything else becomes vocabulary. Westline, Django line, bebop runs. Whatever you want, but without the targets, vocabulary becomes noise. Target first, language second. Now watch the same hard section one more time. Ear-led, reverse chained in tempo, target driven. So can you hear the chord change now? Same passage, completely different relation to it. So here is the 30-minute routine, exactly as I use it. 10 minutes, ear and target. Sing the phrase first, then play only the beat 1 landing points, then connect. 10 minutes, reverse chaining. Hardest phrase only, end first, then build backwards. Do not move forward until the end is clean. 10 minutes in tempo run. Same section, metronome on 2 and 4, no slowing down at the hard bar. If it breaks, the tempo was too fast, drop it and hold it. That's it. 30 minutes, no wasted repetition. Difficult bebop heads are not mastered by repetition. They are mastered by control. Control of sound, control of your starting point, control of time, control of your hands by what you hear in your ear. When those three things are working together, something shifts. You stop feeling like a student trying to survive the tune. You start telling like a player speaking through it. Do this for 30 minutes a day. You will feel it faster than you expect. If this way of practicing is new to you, good. That means you have been working hard in the wrong direction. That changes today. On my website, voicelidjazzguitar.com, I have 2 hours of free lessons called Essential Building Blocks. Shell voicing, voice leading, the west line, the jungle line, all organized step by step with a free 28 pages PDF. Just register for a free account and it is all yours. Once you finish that, take the scorecard. I will look at where you are and point you to the exact next step. And if you want to see how all of this lives inside the real playing, actual lines, actual tunes, that is what West's Inside is for. One chorus each of Wes Montgomery on Fly Me to the Moon, All the Things You Are, and Autumn Leaves, including an unreleased Autumn Leaves recording you will not find anywhere else. Please leave a comment. Tell me one bebop head you are stuck on. I will show you exactly where to start the reverse chain. If this video helped you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Until the next time, keep swinging.